This Bruno Fernandes thing is funny, you know. It's really funny. What's funny is watching some people reluctant to say anything. That's funny. The silence is deafening. All the man and the people who never ever rated Bruno, can't really hear from them now. Kind of respect it. Don't want to put your name back in the hat and bring the light to yourselves. And then what's also funny on the other side is watching people jump on. Do you know what I'm saying? Now TT's spoken. Now real recognizes real. Now we've got Braino Fernandes from Henri. All of a sudden, Bruno's wicked. All of a sudden, Bruno's changed. And what's actually a third thing that's funny is some people thinking that Bruno has just changed up his whole vibe. In fact, Bruno's not the same guy. He's doing things differently. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. And you know what? In a world full of I told you so's, this is the internet. This is what it is. This is football opinion. Everybody likes to be right. But in a world full of that, there's an awful lot of silence. There's an awful lot of silence. And also, in a weird way, there's an awful lot of kind of jumping on and trying to justify what Bruno is by also trying to admit that he might have done things that you wanted him to change and now he's the player. No. We're not doing any of that. We're not doing any of that. Yeah. We will remember. We remember the guys out there who weren't on this Bruno thing. We remember the guys who don't rate this guy. We remember the people and fans who were like, no, better off without him, mate. Better off without him. Well, Thierry Henry, the current assist holder, thinks different. And so do many others. But it's not a surprise to most of us who understand what a top player looks like. We've known this for a long time. So welcome to the party. That's what I'll say. Welcome to the party. Smash the like, people. There's so much to talk about this morning. Of course, what's dominating the headlines is this situation with Thierry Henry waxing lyrical about our captain. We're going to talk about that. There's a piece from Samuel Luckhurst talking about the things that Manchester United are going to be interested in the summer. We got a lot to get through, Owen. A lot.
Yes,
And there's a game on Friday, which is great.
Yes, indeed. Good morning, folks. Welcome to United View. Welcome to the Morning View. Like Flex said, plenty to discuss this morning. A lot of Bruno Fernandes discussion and debates going around. A lot of polarizing opinions. Nothing new. But you mentioned, Flex, some people even saying Bruno Fernandes has changed and changed for the better. That's why these performances and assists are coming out of nowhere, apparently. Well, I tell you who has changed. Me. I've changed, And do you know why I've changed?
Why have you changed?
Do you know how I changed?
How have you changed?
Well, it's only Optimum.
Today's video is sponsored by our friends at Oxford Natural and their all-new natural supplement, Optimum Day and Night. Thousands across the UK, USA and beyond are smashing their health goals with Oxford Natural. Optimum Day gives you steady energy, curbs your cravings and keeps your metabolism firing all day. Optimum Night helps you relax, get restorative sleep, recover and keep burning fat while you rest. It's not a magic pill, but it will help you reach your health goals. Check out some of the incredible results. Two of our own. Owen lost over 100 pounds in 10 months and KG dropped 30 pounds in 4 months. In 8 months, football legend Michael Owen lost 35 pounds and Robbie from AFTV, Don Robbie, lost over 80 pounds. And in 6 months, Anita, an award-winning immigration lawyer, lost 44 pounds. And Linda, a law firm executive, lost over 50 pounds. No gimmicks, no needles, just results. Oxford Natural, let's get to work.
Yes. As always, you can scan that QR code right here and save up to 70% off your first order. You can use the code UV. If you scan that QR code, it takes you to the landing page. You can find out all the information, all the case studies, and you can get your Optimum Day, which is good for your weight loss goals. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I went just a light, you know what I mean? And you caught it straight away. It was good, which is good for your weight loss goals. You can get Optimum Night. Slowly. There you go.
Yeah. Cheers, though.
Yeah, weird. It floated in the air a little bit there. Yeah. Which is good for your restorative sleep. You can get them individually or combined, any which way you please. As always, all the information is in the video description below, or follow the link. You can find out everything and get optimized today. Optimized. Optimized. Yes, we've already got some super chats in this morning. It's going to be a big show, Flex. Well, it's the big show. That dude, 1983, says, is Ricky from TUS trolling at this point? He's losing credibility weekly. Does Bruno owe him money or something?
Pick up Ricky.
And I
would... Are you there? That was robotic for a sec. You're back. You're on your way back. You're on your way back.
Come back.
Yes,
I was going to say, you know Ricky better than I. But
yes.
Ricky's Ricky, isn't he?
Ricky's Ricky. The one thing I will say about Ricky is being consistent. No, this will make him double down even more. This will make Ricky double down even more. I haven't messaged him yet to say, surely you don't disagree with one of the greatest ever players, Ricky, and Thierry Henry. I want Ricky to say, well, Thierry Henry's clueless. He doesn't know what he's talking about, Fleck.
Yeah, Ricky was...
Thierry Henry doesn't know what he's talking about, Fleck. I'm telling you now, Fleck. He doesn't have a clue.
Ricky's Ricky. He would do and say what he wants.
Ricky.
All Elite says, please don't split the fan base again. There have been times to debate his performances, but right now he's magnifique. Let's just give him his flowers. First of all, I would say All Elite to that is, nothing can stop the fan base being split.
That's not us.
Have you seen a match day or just a 24 hours in the life of a Manchester United fan on social media? Like the days for unity and the fan base is going to be united in this is horse shit. Like, you know what I mean? It's just impossible. And these debates are debates that fans have all the time, right? So that's the purpose of a fan channel, isn't it? It's to have conversations and debates. I mean, if people genuinely feel that their opinions on Bruno, positive, negative, or indifferent, are valid, then they can still say them, isn't it? Really, you know what I mean? You can't just sit there and be like, well, I don't want to basically upset the apple cart. You know what I mean? You got to say what you got to say. You know what I mean?
Over half Bruno's assist from set pieces.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Terrence says, it was hilarious watching Monday Night Football, and the pundit was showing the chances created by players all season so far, and Bruno is far ahead from everyone else. Yes, on all of those things last night, let's get into these, and then we can get into the discussion about it all. So, as was mentioned, Thierry Henry did some analysis on Bruno Fernandes last night on Monday Night Football, and he was waxing lyrical, Fleck. He said, for me, speed without control is useless, but if you manage... I'll tell you what, that background's wrong. That's always going to bother me. There you go, with what you call it in the thingy. There you go. For me, speed without control is useless, but if you manage to control the speed of your brain, you'll be faster than anyone on the pitch. That's what this player is full of. He doesn't play football, he thinks it, and he demonstrated it so well this weekend. He also said, the nickname I gave him is Braino Fernandes. That guy thinks what he's accomplished at Manchester United during a difficult time for the team is exceptional. We have to give him credit. He could have left. He could have said, this isn't for me. He stayed. He fights every time. I adore him. Now, in terms of some of the stats, you know, those are words from Thierry, but stats are stats, you know. You got here, this is one of those, it shouldn't, what's a stat that doesn't look like it's true, but it is kind of thing. Games to reach 100 goals and 100 assists per club. Bruno did it faster than Messi and Ronaldo did Barcelona and Real Madrid. Which is wild, insane. That is
in this Man United team, bro.
In this Man United team. You know what I mean? Cristiano Ronaldo.
Wait. Hold on. Sorry, don't go quickly. Let's slow down a little bit here. Games to reach 100 goals and 100 assists for a club. So obviously Bruno didn't do that at Sporting. Weren't there long enough. Didn't do it at where was he at? Sampdoria? Where was he at in Italy?
Yeah.
Didn't obviously do it there. Not there long enough. So we're talking about Man United, yeah? We're just talking about Man United. And then we're talking about Messi at Barcelona. It took him 319 games to get 100 goals and 100 assists. Is that what we're saying here? Yeah. Ronaldo, it took him at Real Madrid. It took him 325 games to get 100 assists and 100 goals. And Bruno's done that in like one less than Messi. Fucking hell. When the teams finished 15th, the teams finished 2nd, 3rd. Where else did we finish with Bruno? 6th once, maybe?
6th.
I can't remember.
Yeah, 6th.
Yeah. But fluctuated. We ain't done anything. Anything serious because of, you know, the type of Man United Bruno's played in. That's
not even consistently in Champions League during that period of time as well. There's been a couple of Europa League seasons there. Obviously, there's been a season.
And we've had 1 year.
No European football.
There's no way I don't even need to stat check this unless there's a real scholar in here where I've got this wrong. I'm going to say there's no way in hell that Barcelona or Real Madrid also spent a season out of Europe like this year, where they
definitely not. Definitely
impossible,
not,
isn't it? Impossible.
Definitely not.
So
definitely not.
Also add that into it, where there's like every one of their seasons that took them 300 and something games to get there, they would have been playing 50, 55 games as well every season.
Yes.
Innit?
I mean,
Really?
certainly, I think the last couple of seasons we had some record for some of the most games in Europe because we went deep. Certainly under Ten Hag, we went deep in like every competition, didn't we?
Yeah.
But this season, I mean, it's like 40 games for us this season. It's nothing, isn't it? You know, so the fact that he's doing it, you know, that is an incredible
wild,
statistic. There's
That's
no way
wild in its, in its own right. Pack up and go home. Really,
exactly.
Yeah.
They are ridiculous numbers. And speaking of said ridiculous numbers, we saw this last night. You know what I mean? On Monday Night Football, this was that chart. You know me, love a chart. As you can see, chances created in the Premier League this season. That's everyone, you know what I mean? And that sort of first little bit. In that second little bit there, it's Bruno Fernandes. Chances created. To kind of sum it up, David Jones had to literally move it to the other side of the screen and go over to that. It's that far away. It's unbelievable.
Do you know what's crazy? Yeah, go back to the other slide, the one just before that. That one there, yeah. So you got open play on the other side, yeah, on the x-axis, yeah. And you got, is that the X or the Y? Which one's the Y again? Going back to the maths.
I'm not very good at graphs.
X, I think X is the one going up and Y is the one on the bottom. Anyway, the one on the left that goes up, yeah. You got that's open play chances, yeah. So he's created like 70 open play chances, it's saying, yeah. And the nearest one is like, let's say 45, yeah. And what people Y is up. What people are saying as well, yeah, is that they're putting the thing up and now they're trying to discredit him already and just go, oh yeah, only 7 of his have been from open play. 7 of his 16 assists have been from open play.
I was going to show something on that.
Yeah, okay, get to that one, because actually, but just quickly, a bit of context is that he's by far creating the most in open play than anyone else, nearly double.
He's again. I think in the clip when David Jones went about it, he sort of pointed to some of who these specific dots were. I think Verts is one of those ones.
Yeah, Sabozlai's in there.
Sabozlai's in there. It's just it's not even in the same.
All
universe,
your favorites,
barely.
All your buzzword players. All of them.
It's crazy. And obviously, then you look at this season. Obviously, Bruno's top of those charts by a considerable distance. You know, the closest to him is Ryan Cherky with 8. You know, Bruno's on double the numbers. But as you mentioned, it then goes into the thing of the open play thing, because they showed this. They showed the most assists in a season, Premier League history. Henry with the top, 20 assists, 20 from open play. Bruno, he's there on 16. The question is, how high up this list will he go? He's at the bottom because, of course, these are the players he has to beat to get the record this season. But it was highlighted that 7 open play assists. And I don't know about you, Flex, but I kind of look at it and go, well, this is a season where Arsenal are most likely going to win the Premier League because of set pieces. You know, that's what is this season, isn't it? This season, it's the season of set pieces. Well, the last couple of seasons have really been that. So should we be shocked that in a season where being good at set pieces will probably win you the league, that if you're going to get the most assists this season, a lot of them are going to come from set pieces? It's like the penalty debate all over again. How many goals did this person score? Well, how many of them were penalties? Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Like, they count the same. You know, you put the ball in the back of the net, it's a goal. It doesn't matter how you did it. If you get an assist, it doesn't matter how you did it. If you pass the ball half a yard and someone taps it in, that is the same as if you whipped it into the box, you know, and did an incredible, you know, assist or whatever. Yeah. It's the same.
Like the Joe Willock one. The Joe Willock one where he gave it to Anthony Gordon just the other day.
And also, this is what I didn't even realize this by sort of looking around with all of this. So on the whole, that counts as a set piece, blah, blah, blah. The Bruno Fernandes assist against Liverpool, that one, you know, where for Harry Maguire, that counts as a set piece, even though.
Does it?
Yeah, that counts as a set piece, even though it wasn't like directly from the set piece.
They counted. So how do we know they counted that? Is that what they're saying on the? They're saying
yeah, because some of them count as set pieces. It's similar to the Sabozlai volley versus Forest being considered a set piece goal. Like someone says here, I'm curious to know what the cutoff in a phase of play is actually, you know, to be
that's
counted
wild.
as a set piece. So some of those assists might not even be set piece what you would define as a set piece goal as well. So, it's just all of these things. Like we can go through all of the numbers and all of that kind of stuff. But for me, it's just ridiculous. And don't get me wrong, I'm very glad to see Bruno Fernandes getting his flowers right now. And, he should get PFA Premier League Player of the Year. And I think he probably will break that record. I mean, we're already halfway through March. Granted, we don't have a ton of games left to play this season.
But it's got to be Prem anyway, so it doesn't really matter about
exactly.
The games are the games, isn't it?
But the fact that you're knocking on that door in mid-March that's a pretty good sign. You're going to go.
Yeah, it is. I think as well, when people keep talking about set pieces, I'm just like, since when was it not an art and a weapon to have a really good delivery? So that means that we're saying, let's just take away things that Beckham was. Then he wasn't just set pieces, but let's just take that away, because actually, from open play, it's not great. So all them free kicks and dead ball situations that, how we won the Champions League final, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For the cross from Beckham. I'll tell you what, it's not really that good from Beckham. Do you know what people are forgetting actually from set pieces? Because we have gone this way. There's one thing about what's happened is, what it's like, two things can be true, and we always do this, yeah? What's happened in this melee of the Premier League this year and the wrestling and the Royal Rumble and that, people have forgotten about what a pure set piece actually is and the delivery. So the actual skill and art of placing the ball in the quadrant and putting it into an area that's really difficult to defend is good in its own right. That's just, forget the wrestling, just back to normal set pieces where it's 1v1, everyone's man for man, you get free, jostle for positions, and you get free, but the ball in is wicked. The ball in is with velocity, it's low, it's whipped, it makes defenders be really difficult to sort of head it away. It makes it difficult for a keeper to come and get it. It makes it really easy for an attacker to get on the end of it because of the flight, the trajectory, the speed of the ball. We're forgetting that that's actually a fucking skill. If you were Janino, if you were Pirlo, if you were Beckham, if you were, who else was really good at free kicks? Payet. If you was Santi Cazorla, I said Beckham already. If you was, Ronaldinho had a great, dead ball, especially. We talk about even like Ward-Prowse and stuff. We talk about Declan Rice now. The corners are spot on. This is actually part of a skill, like how you manipulate the football in any way. You could be a really good dribbler, a really good passer, a really good tackler, a really good headerer of the ball, a really good striker of the ball. In this case, a really good set piece taker. It's a skill. That is still a skill. You're laying on chances from that.
And let's not forget as well, Flex, even some of these things that he wouldn't have got assists for. I think of the Mbumo goal against Palace. Bruno takes that corner. Colby gets the assist of the flick. You know what I mean? Yeah. But Bruno still that's a great set piece goal. The real thing is, let's be honest here, right? The real thing is there's always a but. There's always something to try and discredit whatever Bruno has done, right? Whether it is during COVID, Fernandes, whether it's now our set pieces, whether it's whatever, you know what I mean? There's always something, because for whatever reason, because he's one of those people, he's annoying. You know what I mean?
You just don't like him.
He's annoying. You know what I mean? He complains a lot. He can roll around. He can be a bit of a shit. He's got the rat look about him. There's always something that people just don't like, for whatever reason. But when he continues to prove them wrong, whether it's Fernandes and then scores a load of open play goals, whether it's, doing this on a regular basis and now it's set pieces, you just can't give him the credit. You know what I mean? It's bullshit. And I go back to the sort of weird now justification for sort of praise. And I don't mean to single out any accounts individually. It's just one I came across this morning that I wanted to sort of share, because I think it kind of sums up how I'm feeling about this. And this is what it is all about, opinions, of course. So I saw this morning. It said, Bruno is not the same player as he was in previous seasons. He's more patient, more disciplined, and far more aware on the pitch. He doesn't rush the ball, doesn't force passes, and there are passes that aren't there, and picks the right moments to go long. You have to be blind not to see it. There's a reason he's on the verge of breaking one of the toughest records in Premier League history this season, not the previous ones. There's a different player there. The flaws that used to irritate most of us are almost invisible now. Now, I'm not going to lie. I look at that and go, you know what I mean? I go, because I look at that and go, well, like, okay, if you, I'll try and break down parts of it. Bruno, has he improved? You know, and as he got more nuanced, as he's gotten older, sure. I would say that, because if you're a top quality player, as you get older, there's lots of different parts of this. He's in his prime, as that just says on the screen there. You would expect him to maybe get a bit better. He's playing in a better team this season with better players. So that probably helps things. But let's not pretend that this is anything new, because it's not anything new. I mean, again, looking around this morning, look at this. Look at his numbers pretty much since he's been here, you know, and even before he was here as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Bruno
mad.
Fernandes is now 3 goals away from having double-digit goals and double-digit assists for 9 consecutive seasons. 9
Fucking
consecutive
hell, look at the
seasons.
Portuguese tax. I didn't realize he got 32 goals and 18 assists.
Exactly. and then you want to look at, oh, well, you know, this season's, look at this. Chances created this season. We know that. Last season. Season before.
15th. Fucking hell.
Season before. You know what I mean? Like,
it's the same. It's not. He was doing it a bit more before.
So I go back to this, and yeah, he's improved in this, that, and the other. But for me, I think it's really dangerous to go down the, well, he's not the same player he was in previous seasons rhetoric, because for me, that feels like this sort of way to justify in the past really unnecessary criticism or weird agendas against him in the past, because he's always been good. He's always been world class. He's always done it every single year. Now, yes, we can talk about, all right, yeah, he's a little bit disciplined here, but the idea that, oh, he's cut that out of his game, as it says here, you know, he's not.
He cut out? What can I ask people?
He doesn't. This is what I'm saying.
What is the thing he's cut out?
He doesn't. They're saying that he doesn't rush the ball, doesn't force passes that aren't there, picks the right moments to go long. Literally, the last game before Aston Villa, he was getting cussed out because he cost us 2 goals. He gave away the penalty, and he does a short pass to Cunha that leads to the counter-attacking goal. My point is, with all of this, is Bruno's having a good season, and he's top quality, but actually, nothing's really changed. Nothing's really changed about Bruno. For some reason now, it's just because he's become so undeniable, people are now starting to wake up and open their eyes and go, actually, this guy's good. He's actually world class. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of difference.
Because this is why stats, because when I was doing this with KG, we talk about injuries, you know, when it's like you build up a thing, you go, that guy's been out for ages. You go, but let me actually check the real numbers, because it feels like he's been out for ages. Or the other way, where you don't realize how long someone has been out for until you see the numbers. All Elite's, I've said, please tell me, guys, what he has cut out. And All Elite's saying hot potato, doesn't lose the ball as much, holds on to it better. Can we check ball?
But All Elite says here, if you don't think anything has changed, there's no point in having this convo.
Well, no, we can have the convo. We can have the convo. I want to have the convo. We're having the convo. We're having a convo. And that's what I'm saying. I'm asking. And a lot of people, listen, because a lot of people agree that Steffi agrees All Elite. This is where I go. Next topic. All right, because she's saying, like, yeah, if you don't agree. No. Because you're agreeing that he has changed. That means that's like me saying there's no point in us having the conversation because you think he's changed stuff. No, and I don't. Let's have the conversation, but I just want some facts. Can we check the percentages of how do we do that?
I would just have a look in a second, but make no mistake here. I'm not, this is where we get so weird in the black and white stuff. I'm not saying like Bruno's not changed or he's not better this season. Of course he is. You know, he's having a really good season. And again, he's in a better team, but this kind of narrative that, you know, oh, he's not doing what he was doing in previous seasons, this, that, and the other. There's not a lot of difference in Bruno Fernandes. He's always done this. Like he's always been good. You know what I mean? He's always been good. You know, we'll have a look. I'll have a look. Bruno Fernandes. You're gonna have to probably pick up some air here, Fleck. Well. He's on the phone. I'll go back to this screen. And then I'll try and find the numbers whilst Flex. Where am I going here? There you go. To this one. Let me have a look. Well, whilst Flex is chatting, because I can't do 2 things at once here. What else have I got here? Oh, I got this stat actually as well, saying that only Mesut Ozil and Salah have provided more assists after 30 matches played than Bruno Fernandes this season. And that's 17 and 18. Again, he's probably going to beat that. Going to beat that. But yes, Flex, fill air while I look for these stats.
Sorry, yeah, I just wanted to see, because I actually want to have this conversation, because in my eyes, in my feeling, and I don't have the stats to back it up. It's my feeling. I mean, Owen brought some stats of, how consistent he's been in terms of creating chances and stuff. We just saw it. My thing is my feeling. I've always rated him, my positive Bruno Fernandes agenda, where I just will defend him to the cows come home. And I've always known how good he was. But because I do want to have this conversation, All Elite and Steffi, I don't want us to be like, no, let's pack up and go home, because actually a lot of people
don't like that. I can't.
Yeah, we don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. Yeah. We don't have to do that. And a lot of the people, to be fair, that's why he brought it here, are saying on there, like, I agree with that tweet that we just saw from that account. I don't agree with it. So yeah, I want to explore it more by looking. Can we find a stat? Can we look at how many times Bruno's lost the ball percentage-wise? Like the same way we can find the chances created. Can we look at the amount of times he's given up possession? Can we find that over the years and see what it is compared to now? Because my feeling is it would look fairly similar, is my feeling. But I just, or as someone said, is it because we're winning under Carrick now and it feels better? People are like, he's changed and stuff like that. I do think he changed. I don't think he changed. I think he showed that he was adaptable under Ruben Amorim because he had to play further away, but he still found a way to impact the game just because he's good. I don't think that's him changing. I think he got asked to play a different role, so he looked different. Him, the player, him, the one who wants to solve everything, him, the one who wants to create and always get his head up and look for that pass. That hasn't changed. But I want to see the stats so that actually that bit where they're saying, that bit where All Elite says he keeps the ball more often, fair enough. If there's a quantifying number that says, yes, he's keeping the ball more, because look, he gave away the ball 45% of the time in the previous 5 years. This year, that's down to 32%. Then
let's have a look.
Like, right, fair.
Because just to clarify again, what are we specifically looking at? What he's giving the ball away? Is that what
are
we going with that?
How do we prove All Elite's thing saying that he's saying that he has given the ball away less?
Because I found this being dispossessed. You know what I mean? Maybe because the only thing with this is, like, if we're gonna really narrow down on one stat, then like, what does that really? What? My point
it must be pass completion, because you either make the pass.
Yes,
you either make the pass to somebody.
If we're focusing on, well, he's different because this season his pass completion is going to be different. Like it's going to be different a lot. Like, what my point is, what individual metric are we looking for that says he's different? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But how many times? But All Elite saying how many times over the past year you've done play rate and you get to Bruno and you've given him a 4? Well, way less times than I've given him 7s and 8s. So by that metric, that's not. That's like me saying to you, how many times have you given him? Do you think you've given him more 6s and 7s versus 4s? The 4s are the anomaly here. The 4 is the anomaly, All Elite. You can't do that.
I do agree here, though. I'm like, well, one stat isn't going to say everything. So what argument are we making then? You know what I mean? if we're going, one stat isn't going to change everything, then why are we bothering looking? But the argument is that he's a different player because of one stat. So that I'm not really sure.
Come on, how many times have we given Bruno a 4? I'm a bit
confused. I'm a bit confused by what are we actually looking for here? Because you know what I mean? Because
so he's cut out the 4s. Now there's no 4s just playing. So that means he's a different player.
Because
is he a different player, or is he just more consistent? Because also you could be the same player, but you could be more consistent.
Well, and also again, like with the stat thing, if it's no, actually he is better because this stat's down, but now we're not looking for the stat. That's what I'm really confused by this.
Yeah,
to be honest,
Yeah, it should be that pass completion for the last 4 years.
Is that what we're looking for? Is that what we're looking for?
Well, we have to, because really, if you make a pass, there's only 2 outcomes. You either keep possession or you don't. Right. That's a fact.
But when you think about it, even that's like ridiculous, because so what? He's a better player this season because one stat's gone down whilst others have gone up.
Yeah, true.
But we can look at other stats. Like,
he could give the ball away. He could also give the ball away more than anyone else because he tries the most, but actually he still have pounds ahead because he's created the most chances.
You know what I mean?
He's bought more tickets to the lottery.
So I'm not really
true,
sure
it's
what
true. We
I'm not
can't
really
do it,
sure what we're
guys.
looking at. I'm not really
can't do it.
sure what we're really
All right.
kind of
All
looking
Elite says,
for.
All Elite says, listen, man, we're doing too much here. Rich coming from you, All Elite. My eye test says to me, my eye test says to me that Bruno has been more disciplined on the ball, and I'm grateful for it. And that's, listen,
Right.
we're only joking, bro. At the end of the day, it is apples and oranges, isn't it?
Because I was scrolling down this list, and I was sort of going, "What am I actually looking for?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was looking I was looking at like dispossessed here, because I was thinking, well, maybe someone can't tackle him this season.
That's ball retention, though, isn't it? That's a bit different. It's
pass completion rate. Is that what we're looking for? 83, right? Because you know what I mean? Because when you actually start looking for them individually, you start actually then asking yourself the question, going, what am I looking for?
Yeah.
What am I looking for? You know what I mean? It's not that stat. That's what I mean. We're not going for like. And also, this is I guess kind of the point of all of this. Look at what we're doing here. Let's actually take a step back. What we're doing, right? We're now to try and justify our own point of views. We're in the sea of numbers. There are so many fucking numbers you can look for to prove your point, that we're now ignoring, again, the obvious ones, which are these ones here that I go back to. Where's the one that really impressed Fleck about this one? Like, again, it's what he's done. Like, we can go.
Like that just shows consistency there. That just shows it. It shows it.
We can go to this and go, well, actually, okay, let's pick one of these, the pass completion one, right? 83.04. Is that this season? Am I on this season? I think I'm this season. Right, let's go to last season. Let's go to last season and see what the difference is. Where was pass completion again? There you go. 81. So it's pretty much the same. What was it before? 82? 82. So that's the same. 2023, pass completion. 79 is a bit down. So it's gone up. It's gone up a couple of percent. But it's still round the same kind of ballpark numbers, aren't they, really? 79, 82, 77. Right, get a little bit better. Yeah. But also, I suppose, as well, you have to consider what role he was in the teams at this point, because his roles changed from Ten Hag to Amorim, now to Carrick. Was this his, what season was this? I can't even scroll that far. 22, 21.
Yeah.
Pass completion, high 70s. So maybe last couple of seasons a little bit better, from sort of 79 to 80. Where are we at?
Right. 80, so All Elite was right 81. Then.
By 2%. 2%.
Yeah. He's right. He's noticed that 2% with his eyes, to be fair. And he's saying he keeps the ball better. So that must be what you mean, was that 2%. Is that what you mean, All Elite? It must be. Key passes. Look at that. Look at the key passes one.
You know what I mean? It's just for this, and this is when I go back to that initial tweet in the first place about this, of he's a different player, he's this, that, and the other. Not really. You know what I mean?
You bastard, Steph. You bastard.
Not really. Like I said, there's this whole thing of he's a different player. The metrics are different. Not really.
Not really.
You know what I mean? Not really. He's always done it. It's not that. It's just he's always been like.
You did it to yourself, All Elite. You took the piss out of yourself, brother. No, it's fascinating stuff, man. It's fascinating.
And like Imo says,
said and done.
Here as well, because when you look at pass completion, well, under Amorim he was deeper. He's probably playing more passes as well, wasn't he? Yeah. Really, let's be honest too. That's why that probably went up a little bit. And again, 2%. I shit 2% every morning of my body weight.
I think last season is quite crazy when you think about it, because that's in spite of what we were throwing up. We were losing every single week in the Prem, every single week, literally every week. And obviously, yes, we played a lot of games though, like going deep into the Europa League and stuff like that. But essentially, to get 19 goals and 19 assists still. And he started off bad that season, remember? He wasn't good and this, that, and the other. There was that game against Fulham at the start of the season. I remember he was snatching it. It took a while to get going. But when you look at it and say where he ended up, it's all that matters, isn't it? He puts the numbers down. And that is the truth of the matter of it. Like, we can have fun with it and argue amongst ourselves. But it's a great problem to have. It's a great, and what we all do agree with, like All Elite saying, is like, guy's just wicked, man. And if you didn't think he was, and I've seen some outrageous, like there's having a bad take, which we can all have, of like I don't think that guy's going to be world class, or I don't think that move's going to work out, or I think that move's really going to work out and it doesn't. You know, when Anthony first came in, we're like, yeah, he can do the spin thing, he's going to be good, and then he's just shit. You know, or you know, there's so many takes that you can have that don't age well. But some of the stuff I've seen towards Bruno is like another level. Like I mean, like it's gone past like he might not hit the heights of like De Bruyne or this player or that player, but like he's still good. But then I've seen like wild stuff that's like, okay, well you just hate the man. Then it's not really football analysis. You just don't like him. The away fans always sing he looks like a rat. He looks like a rat. Villa fans were doing it the other day. He looks like a rat. Bruno Fernandes. He looks like a rat. Fulham fans done it. Still get the same treatment. You still leave with assist on your head top. Like, it is what it is.
And that's why I go back to, again, these sort of individual stats, because I guess the point I'm trying to make this morning is that I don't think we need to look for these sort of small individual stats to either discredit him or credit him. Like I don't think we need to just look at every single season, the numbers he puts down. Aside. I don't think you need to find
positive or negative.
Oh yeah, exactly, positive or negative statistics for him, that they speak for themselves. So for instance, like you said, some of those people that have been on the agenda thing, the negatively for years at this point, will point to these sort of certain metrics and go, see, this one's bad, this one's bad. You go, well, actually look at the most important numbers here, like what you're putting down, goals, assists on the board. They're good. And even from the positive side of things, no, he's really good because of look at these. You go, you don't even need to do it. You don't need to be that extra. He's not changed. He's not, he's evolved a little bit, sure, but in terms of his output is the same. You know what I mean? It is, and I don't think like the amount extra either way needs to be that. And even like I say, I look at him in the Newcastle game. I remember talking to DJ before the Aston Villa game at the weekend, and I said to him, it's annoying though with Bruno, isn't it? Because at Newcastle we gave away the penalty and the misplaced pass, and we were chatting about I don't even know if I have it on the screen. I think I deleted it. There was a stat that Sky Sports showed before the game, which was his run in the last, I think it was like 8 or 9 games, and near enough every game he'd got a goal and an assist. And I said at the time, my concern was, and it still is just, if a goal doesn't come or assist doesn't come from Bruno in that game, where does it kind of come from? Which is still the concern, isn't it? Where does it come from? But I said, isn't it a bit annoying in the Newcastle game that he did that? And DJ said at the time, and it's true, it still is. Yeah, but that's Bruno, isn't it? You're gonna have a shitty game, and he might not show up. But
it's just who he is, yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, he will. Again,
and there's a huge sample size to suggest that. It's not like I'm not sure about committing to this player because I just don't know what he's going to be like next year.
Yeah,
or like the year, but like, I don't know. No, this is like 6 seasons now of like,
that's Bruno.
Yeah, there will be, because that's the other notion that it's like you have to be fantastic from game 1 to game 38 in the Prem. Like that's not how it works. You're gonna have games where you don't. I mean, there's games where Messi don't score, bro. There's games where Ronaldo don't score. Like people act like this is never, and I'm just using the best of the best as examples to make it really simple. Do you know what I mean? There's games where
Haaland does score.
Haaland's got 22 goals. I saw a stat that Haaland from the August to the Jan or to the December scored X amount of like a big batch, and since the beginning of this year he's only scored 4. So he's 4 out of those 22 have come in 3 months. 3 months he's only scored 4 goals, but the rate he was scoring at the beginning of the season is still going to make him the top scorer of the league. He's been stuck on 22 or around that sort of mark for a little while because he's not been in great form. And Igor Thiago, he scored again last night. I watched that game, the Brentford game. But he's been in and around 16 to 18 now for a little while because it is a bit packed. Nobody scores every game. When Henry got those 20 goals and 20 assists, well, what was he doing for the other 16 games?
Yeah.
Not scoring, not assisting.
Yeah.
Do you get it? So it's like... You can't. What people don't realize is the same like in the tennis thing, and like when Roger Federer said it one more time. He goes, "What did he say? Tennis is like you lose more actual points or something than you win." I can't remember the analogy. Someone put it in there, but he was like, "You can't win every single point."
You go in there. What's about the shots that you don't take and all that kind of
stuff?
Yeah,
right? And it was similar to that.
Wayne
but it was
Gretzky.
Such a good. No, but it was actually Federer who said it though. I know you say you lose 100% of the points that you don't, the shots you don't take is what that is. But it was
Wayne
Federer
Gretzky.
said, but it was Federer. No,
ice hockey
it weren't
player.
that.
But he created the quote. That's what I'm saying. Roger Federer is adapted that. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. It's a Wayne Gretzky.
Don't take. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then Federer adapted it to something even more. And I was like, fucking hell. In the world of tennis, he's like, do you know how many points we lose? Do you know how many? And but because you can lose, that was it. You can lose like loads of points in a set, yeah, or even a game. It could be like deuce advantage, deuce advantage, deuce advantage, deuce advantage. So you're losing you're losing at probably the same rate as you're winning. That's why it's deuce, yeah. But then you just get that one, and then you've won the whole game. And it's like, I've won a championship, but I've fucking, you know what I mean? Lost loads of points.
That's set play in tennis, isn't it? You can,
because it's just
you can win a championship and not win the most points. It's crazy. Let's get to the super chats. There's loads of them here. Before we do, there was also a really interesting one here from Fantasy Focus. Said just because the stats are the same doesn't mean they look better on the eye. How hard is that to understand? That's a you thing, though, isn't it? Like, I can't control what your eyes like. You know what I mean?
That's a personal thing, isn't it?
Exactly. That's what I mean. It's a personal thing. What the whole it looks better on the eye. That's entirely subjective. That's everyone's perception of things is going to be different. I would argue that
my eyes are the same looking at Bruno.
Exactly.
I'm seeing the same guy.
I would argue that maybe the it looks better on the eye thing this season is because actually we're winning more games. So a lot of things will look better on the eye. You know what I mean? Last season, Bruno made some have looked not so good on the eye because we finished 15th. When you're losing every week, nobody looks that fucking great on the eye. When you've lost one game since before Christmas, you're going to look pretty good on the eye, aren't you? You know what I mean? That's my perception of that anyway. Right, there we go. Daniel Luciano says, guys, he's always been good, but less long shots now. Tabitha says, two things can be true. Bruno has been world-class since he came in, but he has altered his game since he first came. He's more measured, less hot potato. We've got Daniel Luciano says, Jesus, I've been trying to say it for 10 minutes. Look at his long shots. He takes less now. I will have a look. Psychic Larry says, set piece assists are better to me. Some in-play ones could be a pass on the halfway line. Messi, Haaland beats 3 players to score. But even, to be honest with that, Psychic Larry, even that, like, again, I don't care. Like, to me, they're just the same. No assist is, on paper anyway, no assist is better than the other. You can go back to the eye thing. On the eye, you can go that assist is better because it's harder.
There's more eye,
but they don't count.
Assists.
But they don't count anymore. You know what I mean? They don't count anymore. Daniel Luciano says the way you read every other chat. Oh, bloody hell! But mine was getting offensive. I demand an apology. I'm about to run to my car so I can cry in my car. Bruno has always been good. He takes less shots now. That's it. Oh, that's what we've been saying. Bruno has always been good. This is my point. This is my point with all of this. You know what I mean? We don't need to justify it. You don't need to justify it positively or negatively. You know, you don't need to justify Bruno's actually was shit. Now he's good, or Bruno's always been good, or he's doing this less, or he's doing this more. He's good.
He's just good.
He's good.
He's just good, and he always has been good.
You know,
that's it.
It's like the Ruben thing earlier this season, right? You know what I mean? When he was winning, and then for a few games, and then it was like you have to kind of like weirdly like justify it. You know what I mean? It's all justification. No, what I said in the past, I saw it in the chat, like when it was well, you wanted to sell him in the summer. What was that about?
I was just about to start bringing it up.
100 million on the table in a season where we finished 15th. You know,
and we've been told we've got no money, so we might have to look at what that might have to be a sacrificial lamb.
Of course,
that doesn't mean you want
to be honest. I think I would argue that Man United handled that perfectly. Really, give Ineos some credit for this, where they said to him, "Look, if you want to go, we'll take the money. If you don't, you'll stay." That's probably the best way to handle it, isn't it? You don't shove him out the door because you don't want to shove him out the door because you benefit to have, of course, but it's also beneficial to have 100 million quid, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Terence Pace says it was hilarious watching Monday Night Football, and the pundit was showing the chances created by players all season so far, and Bruno is far ahead of everyone else. Yeah, that's what we were looking at that graph. Aminor says whoever says Odegaard is better than Bruno, hold that. I mean, that's long gone now, and I think even Arsenal fans don't even talk about that. Show says the forced Bruno hate started from the internet/YouTube hate since 2020. A lot from our fan base. It's trendy to hate him, so it's never gone away. Yeah, the ones from our fan base I just don't get. I just don't get it. It would always perplex me, but it's just me. Aminor says Bruno main flaw is his moaning, childish leadership. And again, What did Henri say? One of the best leaders there's ever been. One of the best players ever been. Aminor. He broke down what his leadership is, and he said it's demanding standards from the guys around you. Constantly coaching, constantly saying, bro, I know you can do better than that. I know it's dry. And then you ask the players how they perceive him. They love him. So it's not childish leadership. It's not, again, that's another thing that's like been thrown at him, is because he does that. And because, Bonahall used to say, oh, if that was my skipper and he was doing that to me, I'd deck him. All this, like, bro, it's just standards. And he can back it up with his own consistency. And when you watch that sit down with Rio, he explains it so well of, it comes across like I'm moaning, but really I'm just demanding more from players I know that can do better, because I know these guys. I know these guys. There's countless videos that are him coaching in every break of play. And I tell you this because I'm in the stadium, see it every single game. I know you've been there, you little man. Yeah. Every break in play, you just put a player cam on Bruno and look what this guy's doing. When there's a drink, when there's someone's getting a drink, when someone's a little bit injured, when the manager's telling the player something, when it's halftime and they're walking in/out. When there's a VAR check, when there's anything going on, he uses it as an opportunity to get into his guys and lead the team. Thinking ahead, telling Sesko, how many times now, bro, make that run in there, come do this. Then he scores against Bournemouth from doing that, against Burnley from doing that. Now, bro, why did you pass that? I just took the shot. He's constantly on it. It's not moaning, it's leadership, bro. It's leadership. Roy Keane used to cuss people all the time. All the time. Yeah. He'd even go and show frustration and snap people's ankles because he's angry. He went on MUTV saying fucking, it was the end of him really after that MUTV thing. Like cussing people, bro. That's what it is. Levels. Now, I'm not saying, now listen, the what he played in was different. He was around world-class play. He's in a whole different era of Man United. But if Roy Keane played in this Man United team, you don't think he'd look around and be like, what the fuck are you doing? You, get that fucking boy. What is this? Of course he would, bro. That's the thing that annoys me about the Bruno thing, is that is the thing that's given him his perception, Aminor. And I don't want us Man United fans to buy into that. That's the stick that the rivals used to beat him. He's always moaning. So he's doing this. Come on, man. Come on, man. That for me, I just don't see that as the negative people make it out to be. Dwayne says, I love it when Bruno gets arrogant on the pitch. Like, bro, yeah, let these motherfuckers, you're the best player maker in the world. Yeah, even Henri said it. He goes, and you know what I like? Because Henri scored a free kick, mate, with the referee turned around and went, is that enough? Is that enough, mate? Yeah. You put it top corner of Wigan, mate. What do you want? Chris Kirkland in goal, I think it was. What do you want? Is that enough? Is that enough time? You prick. It's like, when you're at that level, yeah, Bruno's doing the free kick. Henri saying, yeah. Fuck, you know what I do? I create, bro. What you think I don't create? What you think these arms waving is getting in the way of me doing my fucking job, bro? Yeah, this is who I am. Exactly. Yeah. One of the greatest to ever do it has just co-signed this behavior, this monstrosity of behavior of being a lack of a leader. How comes all the top guys, forget us fans, forget us podcasters, anyone has a mic these days, forget all of that. Forget all of the fans. How comes the very best of the best who play the game at the highest level, even Jack Grealish the other day, do you know what I mean? Even him. How comes these guys, even De Bruyne, why is it these guys can appreciate how good he is, but our own fans are like, nah, but he's childish? Well, does that even make sense, bro?
Well, it's like Show said here, the forced Bruno hate started from the internet, YouTube hate since 2020, a lot from our fan base. It's trendy to hate him, so it's never gone away. And yeah, that's what I go back to. I think we've spoken about it a lot recently, isn't there? There is this very weird, thing. It's almost like a weird human nature thing. That there's always got to be contrarians. You've always got to have a what's Flex doing now?
Sorry, go, Karen. I have something for the community. I have something for the community.
Right. Yeah. So there's always got to be contrarians, and then, like I said, now when it gets into sort of weird justification of that, it starts getting into little strange steps. I see. By the way, I do see Danny Luciano in the chat. The reason I've been says, yeah, I'm not letting this go. You said what changed? That's what's changed. He has changed that. That's what I'm saying. Thank you, chat, for the support. I've actually been spending the whole stream looking for the specific stat you've been asking for. So I've not been ignoring you. I've been trying to find it specifically. I can't find the long shots one. I can only find shots taken just whilst I'm live. But with that, the shots taken thing, just so you know, you get your money's worth. Don't say you got scammed here or anything like that. With shots taken this season, I'm on the right season, yes. Shots taken, we've got, there you go, 67. The season before that, we're going to end up finding again that these are quite all in the same kind of ballpark. Shots taken last season was 65.
And that's by the end of this. That's by the end of the season.
By the end of the season, yeah.
So he's taking six. So he's taking more shots this time.
So he probably shots taken. Where am I at again? 67. That was this season.
Yeah.
Last season was where are we at? 65. So he'll probably beat that. He probably beat last season's number.
Oh no, he's already on 67 now.
Yeah, so maybe he'll probably smash that.
Yeah.
The season before last, shots taken 69. Probably end up beating that this season.
So he's taking more shots than ever before.
I'll go down. The season before it was 70. You probably end up beating 70 shots per season.
Yeah.
And then that
same ballpark
21, 22. If you're going to say, actually, this is where you do get a little bit low, it was 55. So he's probably, if anything, over time, he's taken more shots.
Again, see? So just with that simple thing, bro, this is what I'm saying. He's taking less shots. Keeping the ball better, taking less shots. Bollocks! It's bollocks.
And also, this is what I go back to. This is what I go back to with all of this stuff, yeah? Why are we looking for these one specific, like, one stat? This is where he's actually changed. This is where it hasn't changed. But, like, we don't need to do it. Like, this is what I'm saying. We don't need to do it. You know what I mean? We don't need to do the whole, like, because nothing really has.
He's
nothing
taking
really
more
has.
shots than the last 4 seasons. Keeps the ball better, though. Don't give the ball away, mate.
And also, again, this is what I go back to. Yeah, but eye test. You know what I mean? Nothing's really changed all that much about him. Nothing's really changed all that much about him. I'm telling you.
I need your attention. The reason why I was making calls and stuff, I thought, let me message Rio now. Let me get the impact on this now. I asked him, do you think Bruno Fernandes has changed as a player with what we're seeing? Sent him a voice note, and he sent me one back to play on the channel. This is somebody who's won Premier Leagues, Champions Leagues, has played with the best of the best, etc., etc. I don't need to explain. This is what Rio had to say. My first time listening to it, actually, as well.
Mate, listen, all this Bruno's changed, and he's become a really good player overnight, and his stats have gone up through the roof because he's been proved as a player. No, he's been creating chances all this time. It's just he hasn't had the strikers to finish half the time. Sometimes you need other pieces of the jigsaw to start functioning as well. Man United invested in the 3 forwards. They've all improved the forward line in all different areas. And chance conversions, one of them, they're converting chances that he's setting up. Like, even at the weekend, he put Sesko through again, he missed it. He didn't even hit the target. But what I'm saying, if people actually finished half the chances he did set up, his numbers would be even better.
Yeah.
You've got to remember as well, by the way, he's broken the record for Man United in assists in a season. He's played probably 80% of this season as a holding midfielder.
Yeah.
Let that sink in. It's mad. So, no, the talent he's had and his ability to pass and to open things up and to see the game the way he does, that hasn't changed. As I said, I think the pieces around him are improving, and so you're seeing better results.
Yeah, exactly.
Packing up, I'm going home, mate. Do you know what? Honestly, Rio's lying. Rio and Henry, do you know what? They're the ones who got it wrong. Fuck it. Nah, I'm changing my mind. He's just sent me that voice note. Do you know what, Rio? I don't agree with you. You got this wrong because he keeps the ball better. He's changed. Fuck off, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry now. I'm sorry. It's time to call it out now.
This is what I mean.
It's bullshit.
What I mean. He's always been good. Some seasons he's probably played with better players. Cool. But it's just, like I said, there's no need to look at, actually, he was bad because of this, or now he's better because of this. I'll go back to that one here. Where was it? The one that you went flex bloody Hallen. That one again. I'll go back to it. He's always done it. Always done it. And to be fair, Daniel Luciano this morning, you had a massive stinker. I'm not going to lie. He was talking about running to his car and cry. And then the numbers didn't even back it up. Daniel Luciano says, I always love Bruno. My wife knows the song and I have his jersey. I was just saying long shots, but happy to be acknowledged even if I'm wrong. Big up. Daniel Luciano. Yeah.
Big up, Daniel. Big up.
Because that's the point involved in all of this, is that he's since the day he arrived, he's been world class. The entire time he's been here, he's been world class.
And you know what? We've done this whole show.
Numbers might go down by an assist or a goal, a couple, a percentage point or whatever for his whole time here, but it doesn't change anything. He's always been world class. You know, the percentage points can go up and down. The goals can go up and down. He can change position on the pitch to like Rio said, to a deep line playmaker or whatever. It doesn't matter.
And the worst thing is, we actually did this whole show. We didn't even get to the bit of talking about actually recruitment and players of better quality. We didn't even get there because it's true. Yeah. We've just hyper focused, and that's probably our fault. We've hyper focused like on the individual so much that saying he hasn't changed. Actually, let's talk about what actually has changed. Instead of talking about like, I think he takes less shots / more chance creation, more or less, or this, that. Let's talk about the things that actually definitely have changed. Yeah, we bought 3 fucking forwards who were just good. How about that? We've actually helped him. And Rio said, let that sink in, by the way. 80% of this year, he's playing as a fucking holding midfielder.
And even that, Flex, this is the funny thing. Like you say, you know, with playing with better players and all this, that, and the other, and playing with better strikers. This is why we need to be so careful with some of these players in this team, is because we're talking about Benjamin Šeško started on the bench. It's the same Šeško 3 months ago. Flop. Yeah. We shouldn't have signed him. You get the thing from the Athletics and the agents, worst signing of the summer. Remember, he should have played on against Tottenham. He let the team down, 10 men with his fake injury, and he's a flop. We've recruited bad once again, blah, blah, blah. Now suddenly he's great. Brian Mbeumo, it's the opposite, isn't it? Brian Mbeumo, one of our top goal scorers this season, scoring goals, brilliant. Cash money,
needs to be out the team.
And then, now, I'll tell you what, he's have a massive word with Brian Mbeumo. When he was doing it.
And there's a difference between. I think he can sit this game and let Ahmad. Like, that's but like you said, it's done because actually, has he been as good a buy as we think? Actually, he's not really doing the Brentford thing.
And also, Flex. The other part of this is these decisions are being made by a guy who's lost once in 3 months. So, exactly. I mean, call me a bootlicker, whatever you want. If Michael Carrick decides when he's putting together the game plan of, I think it might be a better for Mbeumo to maybe start this one and Šeško can come on and get a goal later on, I'm going to trust him to do it. You know what I mean?
I said I've stopped talking about it now. I said I'm not bringing it up anymore. The Šeško thing of should he start or should he be on the bench? I said on my last match reaction outside Old Trafford, I goes, I ain't doing it anymore. Because, like we say, the manager lives and dies by the decisions, and you can also do what you want when you're winning. If Michael Carrick, like you said, keeps having that results, and most importantly, everyone's happy, the team wins, Michael Carrick makes his decision, Šeško as an individual is happy, locked in, jumping up out of the screenshot. He's got 9 Premier League goals. He's looking. I'm sure he'll get into double figures now comfortably with 6 or 7, 8 games left to play, whatever it is. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, big him up.
Yeah.
It's a breakthrough season. That's fine. Who said you had to come here and be the main man, play 38 games and have to score 25 goals? That's not realistic, bro.
Well, I mean, and also
let's ease him in, and it's working.
I remember before, I've been saying it for a couple of months now, going, look, the game's evolving. You look at other sports, and you do hold players back. You do hold good players back on the bench. Yeah. Because you know the game will evolve, and as it opens up, you're going to need to bring them on, and that can win you the game. You do not put all of your best weapons out there straight away. You got to save at least one back.
Got to have the game will need it. Sleeve, innit?
You've got to. Yeah. That's how you win. That's how you win games.
Before we finish off, did we read all of them, or we read just a couple of sporadic ones?
I think
there's a few that I'll just read them all because I think Mr. A Prophet says also think how crap a forward line was last year, which is what Rio was alluding to. You know, Garnacho going through on goal, fucking. You know what I mean, it's chalk and cheese. Daniel Chancer says, guys, he's always been good, but less long shots. Tabra says 2 things could be true. Bruno has been okay. Daniel Luciano says Jesus. Okay, right, cool. Psychic Larry says set piece assists are fucking hell. You have read a lot then. I don't remember. You read that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ivor, big up Ivor.
Not sure I read that one.
Says Bruno is world class, but he's also very childish. And Daniel Luciano says I have always. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we've read everything. We've read everything. Big up to Rio being part of the show. We'll get him on soon as well. That's his input. Bradley's just messaged me. I don't know if you're watching live as well, Bradley, but I've seen your message because I did drop him a little message this morning because you know what Bradley's like with Bruno. I said, Henri recognizes good players, bro. Bradley's just put laughing emoji. I knew you would message me, bro. So I mean, there's a lot of guys that's just been like, oh yeah, I knew this would happen. Oh yeah, about that. It's how it goes. But listen, the whole "I told you so" thing, not worth it, is it really? So get to the end of the show and say, yeah, don't do "I told you so." Like all elite says, let's not split the fan base.
Guys, and that kind of circles back to that at first, one of that first super chats from All Elite, but it says, please don't split the fan base again. If anything, that whole show is just prove the point, which is it's impossible. You know what I mean? It's impossible. You know what I mean? We just won't be like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you kind of have to just sort of participate or not. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because
there you go.
It is what it is, unfortunately.
It is. Guys, big up to yourself. Have a great day. Obviously, there's Champions League action later on. We'll all be hating, making sure PSG complete the job, making sure Real Madrid complete the job. Slightly hoping Leverkusen could do something amazing, which probably
it's level, isn't it?
Who knows? Who knows? Little pens and they go out. Who knows? But there you go. Right, we're out of here, peeps. Enjoy the evening and your day. Bless.